Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. 'Tis the season of cheer, and Christmas is looming. But the Grinch isn't happy. In fact, he is fuming. With a hatred so deep that he just can't conceal it. To cancel this Christmas, old Grinchy will steal it. To get into town, to make it the distance, you'll need to find Max. You'll need his assistance. Slither and slink, with a smile most unpleasant. To earn more rewards, collect every present.
Ha! 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 Oh!
Max is nearby, and Grinchy can feel it. His tail wags reveal him. He just can't conceal it. Heavy door. Max must be nearby. If you stick to the trail, you can follow the sound of the wag of his tail. After searching through packages, boxes, and sacks, finally Grinch has found cute little Max. Reunited with Max, Grinch is feeling more brave. Together the duo must trek through the cave. A now open pathway was closed just before. What a great Grinchy trick! You've opened the door! Now Grinch can continue. You're well on your way. The countdown is on to steal Christmas Day. Keep going, old Grinch. You've got Christmas to take. You've got presents to steal. And who hearts to break. Nice job, old Grinchy. Harumph to old Christmas. To steal it is brave. To get on with the plan, get out of this cave.
Ha!
Give Max a whistle.
Ha! 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 Oh. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Ha!
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Grinch finally made it. The exit at last. He's got to steal Christmas, and time's moving fast. With a hatred so deep and a feeling so vile, the thought of no Christmas makes old Grinchy smile. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Who's. Staring down from his cave with a sour, Grinchy frown at the warm, lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow he knew. All the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. And then, oh the noise, noise. That's one thing he hated, the noise. Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down to a feast. And they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. Now out of his cave on his snowboard at last, with an avalanche coming, Grinch needs to move fast. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked, what a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and this hat, I look just like St. Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around. But since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said. If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max. Then he took some red thread, and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, get up! And the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. All the windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Whos were all dreaming, sweet dreams without care. And he came to the first little house on the square. "This is stop number 1," the old Grinchy Claus hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he did the same thing to the other Whos' houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Whos' mouses. It was 1/4 dawn, all the Whos still abed, all the Whos still a snooze when he packed up his sled. Packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags and the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Pooh-pooh to the Whos, he was Grinchishly humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up, I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Whos down in Whoville will all cry boo-hoo. "That's a noise," grinned the Grinch, "that I simply must hear." So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes, then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise.
Oh. Ha. Ha. Hmm. Oh. Ha. Ha.
Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. With this change of his heart, Grinch knows just what to do. He will give back the presents to every sweet Who.